Trending burning question, powered by Reva University. Century Ply Laminates, co-powered by Acco Insurance.
Hello and welcome. You watching the Trending Burning Question with me, Shavin Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday morning around 6:30, when Hamas terrorists infiltrated into Israel, one place that was targeted where thousands of people were present was during a music festival. Thousands were dancing to trance music just next to a Buddha statue when the first sound of the rocket that was launched from Gaza was heard by those who were participating in the music festival. But little did they have an idea that it was just not yet another rocket that was launched from Gaza, but this time the plan was completely different. The Hamas wanted to carry out a massacre, and that's exactly what happened in the next few hours when Hamas terrorists opened fire at those who were present at the music festival. In fact, some had to jump off a cliff only to run away from the terrorists, who then started taking people hostage. What you see right now on your screens are those images coming in from the music festival, and it then turns out over the last few days that several have been taken hostage. Tonight, over the next few minutes, we'll take you to family members who are now speaking to international media, hoping to drum up some support, hoping that their loved ones would return. Joining us on this broadcast is two very special guests. We have Noam Shalom, father of Noam Shalom, who's been missing since Saturdays, as I understand, and Ohad Harel, who's the brother-in-law of Sharona. First, let me come to you, Noam Shalom, with regards to what we are witnessing right now. I've come across various stories, reports that are now coming in that those who were present at the music festival, many have been taken as hostages. I want to understand from you, over the last few days, the multiple attempts that you, your family members have been making to bring back your daughter. What has been the response like? What is it that you know so far?
Actually, I don't know so much so far. I know that I got the phone call from my daughter at the Saturday morning. It was a video call out of an ambulance that was in that field just near this peace festival, and my daughter, she was really afraid and shaking and crying, and I told her I was in shock, but I told her, she told me that there was shooting around. I told her, baby, it will be okay, no worry, like these things are finished quickly, I'm sure that you're okay. And she told me I don't have so much batteries, so I told her just stay safe, everything is gonna be good. And then she wrote me like, father and mother, I don't know what's gonna happen, just know that I love you very, very much, whatever happened. That was the last time I heard from her. And actually, till this day, we haven't got any solid message or information about her, about where is she, about what happened to her, about what happened to the ambulance, what happened to her friend that was with her in that peace festival.
Tamar, I know it must be extremely difficult, especially when you have absolutely no idea about the whereabouts of your own daughter. I believe that she was also with her friends who were present there. Is there any idea that you have with regards to what really happened to her friends? Any reports that you've come across? Because there are multiple testimonies that are now doing the round that you've had the idea of coming in much later, because obviously it wasn't easy even for the IDF to reach on the spot and to perhaps carry on with a counter-offensive. Is there anything that you've heard from the family members of your daughter's friends?
Look, all these things, people like treat it or call it a war. This is not a war. This is crime against humanity. This is not a normal war. To take innocent, young, beautiful people that dance in peace festivals and to take them as hostages in an enemy country as war prisoners. This is a crime against humanity. This is if we let this happen, if we normalize this, it will lead us to destruction of the free world as we know it. It won't stay like that. It's belong to all of us.
Tamar, one video that was doing the round was Hamas terrorists who were paragliding, and there is a video that we just saw in our newsroom was part of the music festival. Little did anyone in that music festival have an idea that this is not what it seems. It isn't the usual rockets being launched from Gaza, which most Israelis have now become very used to. And what many forget is perhaps the pressure that every Israeli has to face, keeping in mind that this is perhaps a usual routine. Rockets flying off from Gaza is nothing new as far as any Israeli is concerned.
Yeah, like paragliding, it wasn't before. All this thing is very weird. It's weird that this thing even happened, and it's very, very weird that still we don't have any solid information, and the solution is not visible. And the big question here again is what? Yep. Sorry.
Tamar, I'll just come back to you. I'll request you to stay on with us because we also have Sharona's brother-in-law who's joining us, Ohad Harel. Ohad, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. And I must thank both of you. Because this isn't an easy moment for any one of you to be able to come up and perhaps narrate the ordeal that you all are going through. So I must thank you for coming out, speaking about what you're going through, hoping that the world will take notice of the fact that this brutality, this monstrosity of Hamas is exposed, hoping that your loved ones come back very soon. Ohad, first I want to know from you about your family members. Did you hear from any one of them? Is there any communication that you've heard from your authorities with regards to the whereabouts of your loved ones?
Until now, we didn't receive any message or any call from any formal, government or anything. I can tell you that last message I heard from my sister-in-law, Sharona. It was Saturday morning. Her husband is my brother. He called me saying that she just sent a message on WhatsApp. She wrote, "They are shooting at me and I'm hiding." So I went to my brother, I picked him up, and we drove all the way to the south of Israel. We get there very, very early, even before forces arrived. So all the roads were free to drive. And we saw lots of fire. All the both sides of the roads were burning with burning bushes and plants and everything. We heard shooting from everywhere. We saw the missiles on top of us, and we just drive fast. It was like a war zone. It was crazy, chaotic. Then we travel between the settlements next to the border, try to find people to ask them if they see Sharona. We saw many people going out from the music festival. They were traumatic. They couldn't even talk to us. And since then until now, it's been more than 5 days. and we are looking to get some, I don't know, life sign about the people who have been hostage over there in Gaza. That's it.
Ohad, since you were there, you did manage to reach the very place where the music festival was going on. What is it that you saw? Because I believe that the brutality of the Hamas was out in the open for everyone to witness, because they opened fire indiscriminately. It turns out that there are reports that are now coming in that at least in some of the kibbutz in southern Israel, where they've massacred babies. In fact, your prime minister has also just put out pictures a short while back. But I want to understand from you, what is it that you witnessed the moment you reached the venue where the music festival was going on?
We arrived just afterwards, so we didn't see the brutality in front of us. We just saw the people after the effect. The only thing that we see is, while trying to get some information, we went to the Telegram or all kind of photos and videos on the net, and we saw the killing, and we saw the kidnapping, and we saw I can't even say and describe the craziness.
Tomer, I want to come to you because from the founding of the state back in 1948 to now, the pressure that an Israeli life basically faces of what's essentially happening in West Bank, or for that matter in Gaza, the pressure is something that cannot be undermined. And I believe that is one of the reasons why several of these music festivals that take place in Israel is hoping that Israeli youth do enjoy their life too. Does it really come across as a surprise, because there is a larger debate that is ongoing right now, that you ought to differentiate between the Palestinians and the Hamas? Do you believe that such kind of an argument, such kind of a debate is perhaps an insult to those family members who are suffering because of the Hamas? They're suffering because of the fact that perhaps there have been some countries who have been backing the Hamas all this while.
I tell you the truth. When I think about politics, I put it on the side because it doesn't matter now. We are not talking about war between countries. We are not talking about army and army, or something like in Geneva agreement. We are talking about people who went for a festival, music festival. We are talking about couple of thousands of people that been, hundreds of them are already slaughtered, and all the rest are with post trauma. Okay, if you want to make war, but leave the civilians alone. I'm not getting into politics. I'm not getting into anything like this. It doesn't matter. Bring the civilians back home. This is first.
Okay.
Yeah, I really feel like
Tomer Shalom, if I can also...
Yeah, please.
Tomer, I also wanted to bring you in this because I understand, this is not a time when we talk about politics, but unfortunately, the reality being this, that there is a larger debate that has emerged from what has happened right now, talking about the current situation in Gaza, where this entire talk that, look here, there is a law of war. That's what the United States of America is also pointing towards. But especially for someone like you, for someone like Ohad, who's at the receiving end, it isn't easy to have any sort of a rational debate. What is it that you would like to say?
I just like to say that, like Ohad said, this is not a war. This is crime against humanity again. And this is the time that all the world should come together and ask a big question: what kind of world we create for our children? this is very important to understand. If we normalize this cruelty, these crimes, like to take innocent kids and make them war prisoners and to abuse and to do all these things that I cannot repeat even. You know, this is the right place to hold hands together, to shout out loud, stop it, we won't allow it. All the people, if you are living in a free country, if you are the free world people, you should be threatened from that fact. Because if we normalize it, it will come in our back door. This is the time to come all the world, all the free world together and shout out, stop that crimes. These civilians, innocent young people should come back home now.
Well, in fact, as I end the program, I would like to take one final word from each one of you, Tomer, as well as Ohad. I'm not very sure whether Ohad is still with us. But first to you, Tomer. Over a million of viewers who are watching this program tonight, would you like to make an appeal, keeping in mind that today Israel is being backed by several countries, but they also need to hear your voice, someone who still does not have an idea about where exactly is his daughter? What is it that you would like to tell everyone who's watching you tonight?
Look, our situation is traumatic. Our family is in a very difficult situation, and we have to raise ourselves each time. And I want that message to be delivered. And I think this world need a lot of light. There's a lot of darkness in our world, and we should put light. And if you want to put light in dark places, you shouldn't let darkness turn off your inner light. Stay on, be together.
Thank you very much, Tomer. Tomer, thank you very much, as well as Ohad, for joining us on this broadcast. I would also like to take a moment to thank you once again for joining us in this difficult time. Praying for you, your family members, and everyone in Israel as we stand united against the fight against terrorism. Thank you very much.